Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live presentation of something that's, it's something that you normally wouldn't get excited about. But I got to say, I'm pretty excited about it because I've watched the development of it and I've seen the evolution of it. And what we're going to talk about today here on this live broadcast is the new support center for Open LMS. And like I said, it's not something that you usually get excited about, but it really is a very different process than what we've had before. And so I have here Claire Cruz with me, and I also have Phil Miller, as you can see on the stage. Phil, I want to give you the opportunity to, sort of just give an introduction here, talk about what this project means to you as our executive director and where you see it going from here.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen. I'm very excited about you. Like you mentioned, there's not a lot of people in the world that get super excited about support portals, but we are some of those people, and we're very proud to be some of those people. And I just am so excited about the work that the team has done to execute on this, because at the end of the day, one of our core objectives is to obsess about our clients' experience. And we think that this is going to be a huge improvement in the way that our clients experience support and experience their interactions with us. And we think that's incredibly important. And we also, because we are just built and wrapped around Moodle, we think that this is going to be a big change in how the community of our users and clients interacts with each other. Mm-hmm. Which is another incredibly important thing, right? It's not just about us as a vendor; it's about the community of users that we have and that we bring together. And this evolution or revolution of our support center and community stuff, I think, is going to be a pretty big deal. So let me not get in the way of that, and let's actually talk about what we're talking about, right? Like, so let's get down to the meat and potatoes of this here.
100%. So yeah, before I unleash Claire on the world, which is going to be absolutely fantastic, let's just go over. What we're going to talk about today is essentially we're going to run through a demonstration of this new support site. It's not only how do you get there, what and what it looks like, but then Claire's actually going to run us through what does what do the ticketing systems look like, etc. And then I'm going to run you through what our new community site looks like, because anybody who now has gone to community.openlms.net, you're now realizing that this is where you're going to land, and we've done this for a very specific reason. And so Claire, let me just ask you, is there anything else you want to add to that agenda before we kick it off?
Nope, that sounds great. Short and sweet.
All right, Phil, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. You are one of the busiest people in the company, and so
no, but I'm gonna join on my phone here. We're expecting 12 inches of snow tonight, but right now it is sunny and nice, and so I'm gonna go watch on my phone and walk around a little bit so I can enjoy the sun before it disappears for good.
100%. All right, thanks so much.
Busy guys.
Thanks, Phil.
All right, Claire. So tell before we share your screen and before we kick this off, as someone who has been dealing with this for the last, the developments over the last, sort of, I guess, 5 months or so, what, tell me in your mind, and, the 2 sentences, what does this change? How does this change the experience for our clients?
Sure. I think the biggest change that Phil alluded to is simplification. I think we had a lot of great resources available to our clients, but they were a little bit dispersed in a few different places. So one of the big drivers for this project was to really bring that all under one umbrella. We were already using, Zendesk as our ticketing system to, work with our clients and provide those day-to-day support exchanges. But we wanted to leverage all of what great features Zendesk has to offer us, including, their community components. So we saw this as an opportunity to simplify that, bring it all together, and give it a makeover, a new look and feel, and with a mission of improving, the client experience at the end of the day. It was definitely longer than 2 sentences, but I think that captures what we're after.
That's just how it works here on a live stream. You find yourself talking. So, well, then let's not talk around it anymore. Let's actually show them what we're talking about here, about how you're going to get your answers easier, connect with other people, and then, ultimately, when you need to go deeper and get that one-on-one support, how we get that as well still. So I'm going to share your screen here and
Excellent.
let you take us away.
Okay. Thanks. So here it is, the new and improved Open LMS Help Center. The URL is exactly the same as it has been, support.openlms.net. We just figured with the new year, heading into 2020, with our own set of resolutions and goals, it made a lot of sense to apply that to our help center, give that a fresh look and feel, a bit of a facelift, and unveil more documentation to our clients, more resources, and make it easier for clients and non-clients to discuss and share ideas in the community. So you'll notice we have a community link up top, but I won't spoil anything yet. First off, right here is you have a search. We know often a lot of the time, people are coming to the support portal with a question already in mind that they are trying to answer. So I'll demonstrate that in a minute, but let's take another show around the rest of our new homepage here. It's still really simple, has a couple paths for you to navigate through. We have the goal of mixing up our promoted articles throughout the year. We have a great mix of different articles right here that you can see that are popular topics.
I was going to say, can you define that for me? Just if I'm coming here for the first time, is it a promoted article that's just something that's been popular? That's something that we want our clients to focus their attention on because it's important? Like, what's the difference there?
That is something that we have promoted so that it will sort of be front and center right here. These could be announcement type things, release notes as we issue new release notes. And as you can see here, we just have some general information. We find a lot of clients might not yet be aware of the Open LMS Academy, of the professional development options that we offer. So we thought that was, great material to promote as part of this facelift. And another benefit that we gain out of this upgrade to our support platform is better data to work with. So our hope too is as we see you engaging more with these resources, we'll be getting more information from both the community, views on articles, and from our support tickets that we can all pull together and continue to update and add new content based on trends and questions that we're seeing come up time and time again.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. So that's just a little taste of the different types of documentation that we have available for you, and ones that we thought might be of interest if you're jumping in here for the first time, or if you're coming back with a new fresh set of eyes after we unveiled this new look. Drilling down into the guides and FAQs section will take you to our knowledge base. So here you can see those specific articles you saw promoted on the other page, on the homepage, and there are lots of other great information here. Most basic are release notes and other information about administrating your site, things that you might be looking to know how to do or set up at the course level, plugins you may be interested in working with, and so on. So as you can see, you can drill down further and further. There are a lot of different pieces, layers to the knowledge base. And as I mentioned, our goal is to continue to grow and expand this throughout the year with some of your feedback. So please keep that coming and let us know what you feel like you want more information about. Some sections have subsections with even more information that you can find. In this case, we have activities and resources that exist within courses. We have a handful of articles related to forums, quiz, some popular activity types. So we've organized them into a subsection all together. So you can either have a browse around and see what piques your interest, or if you're looking for inspiration of new things to try in your course, this might be a great way to do that. Or you can search. Notice that the search sort of follows you no matter where you go throughout the site. So whether I'm already browsing and that gave me an idea of something I wanted to search, or if you're just starting from the home page, you should be able to search from either location. So I think one of probably the most popular support topics now and probably forever will always be the gradebook. So let's use that as an example to see what happens if I search for grades. So one thing that's really great is we can see, wow, we have lots of stuff about using grades and gradebook setup and grading certain activities and everything in between. By default, it searches the entire site. And you'll see that we have a little bit of information as just knowledge-based articles or in our community as well. I'm going to drill down just to articles because that's sort of what I was after in the beginning. And, we can see we have lots of great options and walkthroughs for that. One thing you'll notice is a new platform availability header. We have lots across our client community. We have clients running different products and hosting models, but there's a lot of documentation we had that was common to all of those clients, but for historical reasons was maybe only visible to one or another different product type. So this will indicate to you whether or not that is something that applies to your existing product. I can back out to the entire categories and grades, much like our Moodle systems. We have a breadcrumb trail that makes it nice and easy for us to navigate back and forth around the site. So
what's that star for? Is that something that, again,
so that star indicates that was one of the articles we promoted. So it'll appear at the top of the list as you're navigating through through the knowledge base, in addition to just being in that promoted area on the homepage. Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah. So we have a button down here at the bottom if you still need to open a support ticket after browsing through the knowledge base, browsing through the community. If you still have a question for the Open LMS support team, we invite you to connect. This will take you directly to our support request form, as will the submit a request button across the top, nice and visible to you when you first log in. Nothing about the request form has changed. That stays the same. We're still asking you to collect as much information about the problem or issue at hand to help us troubleshoot. You have the option to indicate priority level when we're talking about your production environment. So that's all super helpful information to help us route and triage your ticket most effectively and get back to you as quickly as we possibly can. One last piece that I wanted to point out, while this is how you can submit a new request, you should also have the option to view your ticket history as well. Another new feature that we recently enabled within our user profiles here, you can now add a profile photo and an alias if you would prefer we call you by something other than your official legal name that your account was set up with your email address. You can include a phone number if desired. And something that has been here all along but is often overlooked is this activities tab right here. If you are an administrator of the system that has permission, has been granted access to submit tickets to us, you'll be able to come into this activities tab here. This is for the community, so that's a bit of a spoiler. I meant to click on requests. And I can see my ticket history here. I can see tickets that I may have been copied on or that belong to other users that I work with in my organization. So that's all available at your fingertips as well. And we hope to both find more opportunities to share articles with you. And we hope that you'll be able to find some useful answers to your questions more easily moving forward.
So if I'm an Open LMS client, do
Yeah.
I need to re-register? Am I already in the system? How does that work?
Great question. You should already be in the system. If you haven't been here before, go ahead and try logging in. You can request a new password. Chances are, if you've ever been copied by someone you work with, you probably actually already have an account in our system, but you may have just never logged in with it before and have corresponded with us through email. So you can log in here, or you can try to get a password or sign up if you know you don't have an account. But nothing should change if you're an existing user. If you've been in here before, no updates needed unless you want to tweak some preferences.
I'm going to put one caveat at the end of that, is that we had many people in the community before that are not Open LMS clients, and we will actually have to ask those individuals to sign up for this, because we're migrating over to the Zendesk system, and our former community space was not connected with it at all. And rather than bringing our existing community members into the Zendesk system and stepping on toes, or maybe people don't want to be a part of that, etc., we're offering them the opportunity to sign up and become a part of this as well. So, but that, if you're not a client, then you won't have access to many of the features like submitting a ticket and those kinds of things. You'll only have access to the community.
Absolutely. Thanks for clarifying.
No worries. Any other key pieces that you want to make sure our clients know about in terms of the knowledge base, submitting a ticket, or anything else?
No, I think that should be it. I'm just trying to get logged back in so I can continue sharing my screen. That was not my smartest move. But yeah, like I said, please reach out, give us feedback. If you feel like we're searching for something and you got some good information but not exactly the piece you were looking for, when you go to submit a support ticket, that's good information for us to have, to say, hey, I saw this aspect of the grade book, but I was really trying to learn more about a particular setting or feature that it didn't address. Because we want to continually revise and revamp these articles to make them as helpful as possible for you and for other users coming for support in the future.
Super cool. Well, then let's move on to why we put the community here.
Yeah.
We brought the community, aspect of all of this into the Zendesk platform because it connects the conversations that we have in the community, the questions and answers, the brainstorming, the particular unique problems. Not only does it connect us as individuals, but it also allows us then to connect it to the knowledge, the base articles that we have. And then when a conversation turns into something like, oh, hey, actually, we do need to tweak something, or there is a real unique support issue that needs to be addressed, it's an instantaneous process to be able to set up a ticket or move that into a ticket. So our ultimate goal here is to eliminate the friction between anyone who's arriving at the support center and the answer that they need, right? Those answers vary, right? So it could be, I have an idea and I want to discuss it with somebody else, right? Mm-hmm. It could be, I need to learn a little bit more about this plugin or how this activity works or something like that. And that's an option, is like, or wow, there's a big red light flashing on my computer and I need to get it fixed now. So, across the spectrum, there's a lot of different reasons why you might come and say, hey, I need help, right? I need support. So one of the paths that you can come into here is the community. You can see it's at the top of the screen there. It's also one of the big buttons on the home screen when you first come to it. And at this stage right now, you'll see that we have 8 topics that you can look, that you can dive into, and everything from announcements and events. So that's where we're going to be probably mostly pushing out to you, our client base, things that we are finding interesting, either online webinars or seminars that we're having. You can see here we have our 2023 Connected conference that's coming up in, exactly almost 1 month from today. That's going to be in Phoenix. So we have information about that. But our academy team has, webinars that they do out. We have normal webinars that go out around, the beginning, the end of semesters, etc. That's what you'll find here in terms of announcements and events. This is also a place where you might see, hey, a heads up about things that are either happening with migrations or things that are happening that are out of the ordinary that we want to make sure that you know about. So the way that you would continue to make sure that you're updated on those is to follow this topic. And you can see it's right underneath announcements and events there. After you log in, you click on follow, and Shazam, anytime there's an announcement, you'll get a little notification like through an email that says, hey, there's something new in announcements from Open LMS. If you go back to just the topics there, the community, the other topics are pretty self-explanatory. And as you've said earlier, Claire, I want to make sure that everyone realizes we're looking for feedback. I put them into these buckets because they match to, or they map to the knowledge base buckets that we have as well quite well. And so we're trying to get to as many apples to apples conversations as we possibly can. So site administration, this is everything around exactly what you think it is. Anything to do with the back end of administering your Open LMS instance of EDU or work. But there is a separate section that's specific questions about plugins, right? There's a separate section that is about course design and instructional design. There's a separate topic on, what does it look like, and accessibility issues, etc. And then on that bottom right-hand corner, I think is probably one of the most important ones, which is feedback and suggestions. This is, you maybe even put the third word there of brainstorm, right? Where I would love to, I have a lot of conversations in the community around, hey, this would be a nice idea, or, the PDL, or, doesn't do this. Could we tweak that, or it would be really great to add this feature. And that it's a great place to have those kind of brainstorming sessions about what Open LMS, the platform itself, does for your organization or for your school. I want to emphasize that, in our perfect world on the Open LMS side, that when you come, if you find yourself in that moment, you're like, gosh, I need to get help on something. We'd love to see you come in and do, when you hit that homepage, to do a search, because there probably already is something about, what you're looking for. And Claire, if you wouldn't mind going just back to the homepage, or you can click on search there, whichever you prefer. But put those grades in there. Put that grades keyword in there again. This actually kind of surprised me that there are community pieces there, right? And if you click on that community and it filters it, this is in the community here, right? Oh, there we go. So notify.
Yes, we started searching from the community. It presented us with
okay,
that hit first.
Right. So if we click, these are the ones that are. If you click on that, issues with the non-graded H5P pub quiz, right? So there is, it's looking for that keyword grade, and obviously it found it in this article. And so I brought over, right now in the community, there's just a few posts that are recent that I brought over from the old community. But as this gets populated with more and more topics, you're probably going to see what I find really interesting about this is, if you find what you're looking for in the community, or at least a conversation, there's probably going to be some context that other clients of ours, other Open LMS users have, that are going to make sense to you. And it may answer that question immediately, right? And that, I think, is one of the most powerful aspects of having the community tied to this, brought over into the Zendesk platform. Because then, as we see these conversations unravel and people have those aha moments, we can then move this into a knowledge base article that makes sense for everyone, and it answers those common questions, right? So that's, we go from community, sort of like search to community to knowledge-based articles. And then finally, if you really get to that point where you can't find what you're looking for in, a matter of clicks, I mean, we're talking, 3 minutes or less, that's when you start to say to yourself, hey, maybe this either doesn't exist. And so I ask a question in the community, do other people have this problem? Are other people experiencing this? Is there a unique or cool or innovative way to solve this? If it's a low level thing that you're trying to solve, or if it's, again, on that spectrum to the urgent issues that you're trying to solve, that's when you would say, no, I need to raise a ticket because then I'm going to get that individual help from Open LMS. So again, just to recap, we've designed this so that with the goal that you're going to be able to find the answers to your questions, and especially those non-urgent situations, start to have brainstorming sessions with other people and connect with them and get to know them. And then, as you go, as you move down the rabbit hole, if you can't find what you're looking for, that's the moment that you want to open up that request ticket and go from there. So that's the real main reason why we brought the community over. We encourage all of our clients, obviously, to use this, but there is the opportunity, if you're not a client from Open LMS and you happen to be watching this, on whatever hundreds of different places we post this, you're welcome to as well. We'd love to hear from other, users of an open source platform, other people who are innovators, other people who, love to have these conversations as well. We still have the ethos that, our community is an open place for everybody to participate. And so you just have to register and get yourself an account to do that. Claire, anything that you want to take us to wrap this up and, have a call to action for people? What do you want them to do?
I think that all sounds great. I agree. I think there's a lot of opportunity for clients and non-clients alike to collaborate on a lot of different topics. One thing I'm excited to see, I know we mentioned that plugins category. In support, we often get a lot of questions about, what type of, or what vendors would you recommend, or what experience do you have working with certain vendors? And often, we can speak to our experience helping clients with it, but it's different from, the boots on the ground, the organizations actually working with those tools. So that was one of the first ideas that came to mind for me, as far as having that crossover and getting that type of question as a support ticket that we can then sort of pivot into a community post and get that client feedback from other clients and non-clients that will be really beneficial to them as they explore what's going to be the best solution to integrate with their LMS. So it's not, while we look forward to hearing from you on the support side, I'm even more excited with getting more day-to-day engagement. And just because we're all sort of in the same classroom under that same umbrella, as I said, I think we'll see a lot more conversation and hopefully a lot of great brainstorming and ideas sharing about the product, about the client experience and how we can serve you better.
Fantastic. And with that, I have 3 plugs to take us out of this conversation.
Sure, take it
If
away.
you wouldn't mind going back to the community homepage.
Sure.
And you scroll kind of down to the bottom there.
All right.
Just a slow load. It was just a slow load. Everybody, oops, go back to the community homepage.
Okay.
And then if you scroll all the way down the bottom there, you'll see there's 2 things here. So these are really cool ways for you to not only participate, but also have very interesting in-depth conversations around all things, not only learning and ed tech, but also around this open platform that we have. It's the eLearn podcasts that we have, which literally an hour before you and I are having this conversation right now, I just had a great conversation with a guy named Vince Hahn about how do you integrate chatbots into your learning, design and what they can be used for. It's absolutely fantastic. And eLearn magazine, where we have literally thousands of articles that we've, collected over the last 15 years around how do you create more effective, online learning. And so I really encourage everybody to check out both of those resources. And then third, Claire and I are going to disappear here for a second, I really want to give a plug out to everyone to consider and think about coming to Connected, which is on February 28th, March 1st, and March 2nd. We still have tickets available for it, and we'd love to meet you. If you're one of our clients and we've been working with you, but we've never met you, that's the whole point of this. It's going to be in Phoenix, Arizona. And as Phil mentioned at the top of this conversation, 12 inches of snow in Indiana is, I would choose a nice hotel in Phoenix personally. I understand that. So, all you have to do is go to the Open LMS homepage, and then there's a big fat button there to register for Connected and, come out. We've got great keynote speakers. We have Britt Andrietta, who's going to be doing a leadership workshop with us and is our open keynote speaker. We have Carrie Willard, who is she's at LTG, and now I'm completely forgetting exactly if she's the chief learning officer. Boy, she's going to kick my butt when we're done with this one. But she's our closing keynote, and both of them have really exciting topics because one, Britt is going to set the stage around leadership and getting excited about that. And then Carrie's going to, be able to wrap everything up with a futurist perspective. There it is right there. Thank you so much for putting those two people on the stage right there. And then in between those two bookends, we've got all kinds of cool stuff. We've got what we call client circles, right? So if you want to talk about plugins, if you want to talk about learning design, if you want to talk about different aspects of your Open LMS instance, that's available to you. If you want to hear some of the breakout sessions around inclusivity, around, scaling to a million students, we have really cool presentations from our speakers, and you can find all that information, the agenda, the speakers, etc., at that site. If you just go to the Open LMS homepage and go from there. That is my third plug. And so without further ado, I welcome everybody to go to support at openlms.net. And just so everybody knows, there you go to support at openlms.net. And thank you so much, Claire, for joining me today.
Yeah. Thanks, Ladek. Looking forward to seeing everyone there and getting this new community off the ground.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Take care, everyone. Stay safe.